a man heartlessly sliced open the throat of a 3-year-old boy, dumped his tiny body down a mine shaft in the wilderness, and calmly strolled back home. However, after hearing 2 simple words he uttered, the judge unbelievably decided to release the child murderer without any prison time in one of the most outrageous cases to date. Because of the left's desire to tolerate Islam with the mentality that all religions and cultures are equal, the West is forced to suffer all the barbaric religious compulsions that are disproportionately committed by the tiny Muslim population. Disturbingly, instead of realizing their error and condemning the Islamic motivation behind such crimes, liberals are defending their values by excusing their behavior and allowing these Muslim criminals to offend. Instead of enlightening Australia with the supposed contributions to society that Islam has to offer, Ali Zilik enriched his community with an Islamic compulsion widespread in the Muslim world. In what should be considered an honor killing, 91% of which are committed by Muslims worldwide, Zilik cut his 3-year-old son's throat like halal livestock. Then, he shouted, "Allah," and threw his son's corpse into a mine shaft in the South Australian outback. After hearing the stomach-churning details of the little Imran's murder and seeing no remorse from Zilik, the court ruled that the Muslim killer was not guilty due to his plea of mental incompetence. Not only did Zilik avoid prison, but he is staying in a much nicer mental health institution and is scheduled to be allowed to leave the facility on what behavior officials refer to as day release. Daily Mail reports that 9 years after Zilik murdered young Imran, he will be rewarded with 24 scheduled excursions under the supervision of just 2 correctional administrators, meaning that he will be allowed to roam in public with unsuspecting civilians. Despite Judge Margaret Nyland accepting the jury's decision of not guilty by reason of insanity, Supreme Court Justice David Lovell is questioning the nature and frequency of Zilik's planned many vacations. Lovell was so disturbed by the mental health facility's announcement that he has recalled the case, which will reappear in court on July 31. Judge Lovell suspects that the institution has breached the release conditions stipulated by the court's transfer of Zilik to the custody of behavioral health care officials. According to the Advertiser, prosecutors accepted the argument that Zilik was schizophrenic and had no idea of what he was doing when he murdered his son. Authorities confirmed that Zilik killed his boy because he believed that his ex-wife was possessed by demons and working for the devil. Police acknowledged that Zilik killed their son to punish the boy's mother and that he had given Imran back to Allah to right the situation. Although officials refused to consider it, Zilik's own statement hearkened on killings committed in the name of Allah to avenge wrongdoing committed by a family member. Although Islamic law considers the killing of Muslims to be murder, as the Quran commands the slaughter of non-Muslims, there is an exception for honor killings. According to a Sharia law manual certified by Al-Azhar, the most respected Sunni cleric in the Muslim world, parents and grandparents are justified in murdering their offspring. Additionally, the Palestinian Authority, PA, gives pardons or suspended sentences to honor killers while countries like Iraq allow the victims' families, who are usually the murderers or related to the murderers, to issue pardons. Pakistani female victims are often shunned by the police who refuse to investigate or allow family members to file complaints in honor-killing cases. In the West's endeavor to enrich society with Islam, it has been introduced to Islamic honor killings, which are an intrinsic aspect of Sharia law. Sadly, instead of rejecting this cultural and religious aspect, liberals are ignoring the motivation and defending the perpetrators. Please share the story and tell us what you think by clicking one of the buttons below. We want to hear your voice.